The Undisputed Era continue to show cracks in their armor, and the debut of Kushida right here for NXT on Off the Script.
Delete this man.
People still What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. It is May 1st, 2019. This is your NXT review. The debut of Kushida, something that a lot of people have been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to it. We're going to talk about it here tonight on the podcast. Also, Velveteen Dream has a terrible singing voice, but man, did he leave a message for Dominik Dijakovic. Also, the Undisputed Era are now teasing a breakup even further. Another crack in the armor of the Undisputed Era. We're going to go over what happened with them. Most notably, Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. So we'll go over that also here tonight on the podcast. Plus, I got some news. Percy Watson is being replaced on commentary. And we got news on Killian Dane. Is he going to be sent back down to NXT? If you guys missed anything that I uploaded previously, man, please go check out everything that you might have missed. It's in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of the screen. Off the Script last weekend, always successful. Thank you guys so very much. We talk about Bray Wyatt's new gimmick of the Firefly Funhouse. Becky 2 belts, possibly going to be Becky no belts at the end of Money in the Bank. Tony Atlas says WWE doesn't need Sasha Banks. He's right. Sasha Banks also, in turn, doesn't need the WWE. AJ Styles on Raw implies that he has a certain club to back him up at Money in the Bank. Raw ratings and SmackDown ratings absolutely tanked this week. I wonder why. Also, we uploaded an Off the Script extra today, which I forgot to put into my OBS so you guys can see the thumbnail for it. But we talked about extensively Dean Ambrose is no more. Say hello to Jon Moxley. That Off the Script extra is linked in the annotation. First thing you'll see right there in the top right corner. 50 minutes today of Off the Script extra. Go and check that out if you did miss it earlier this afternoon. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support the podcast via the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to support the podcast by buying a t-shirt, you guys can certainly do that. JD's Elites, the #1 selling t-shirt for Off the Script and one of the best top-selling t-shirts in all of the YWC. Link is down below to get yours today. Bonfire is the exclusive home of JD's Elite. Bonfire.com. Link is down in the description of this very video. And the NXT podcast is brought to you tonight by Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Audible's giving you guys, just for listening tonight, 30 days free of their service. And that includes one free audiobook of your choice. You got over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling and sports related. All you have to do is use our unique link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Download the app on your iPhone or Android devices. Go through the sign-up process. You will not be billed. Don't worry. You're not going to be billed. Audible knows that you signed up. You got 30 days free, and they're going to give you a thank you in the form of one free audiobook of your choice. The best part is, if you guys don't like Audible or feel if Audible's not for you, then you can cancel within the 30 days and still get to keep your audiobook for free. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Great way to support the podcast right here on Off the Script. I want to start off tonight, guys, by talking about some of the minor news and rumors in the NXT universe. And I want to start off with Killian Dane. Killian Dane, obviously the biggest, the most intimidating figure that was in Sanity. Obviously, Sanity is no more. They were split up in the Superstar Shakeup. Eric Young, the leader of Sanity, moved over to Monday Night Raw, while the remainder of Sanity, Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane, stayed over on SmackDown Live with absolutely nothing to do. Now, everybody was wondering what's going to happen. Well, Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf were pretty pissed. Alexander Wolf quit WWE, but he didn't really quit WWE. They just shifted him over to NXT UK. That left Killian Dane with absolutely nothing to do. And in my eyes, Killian Dane was the one guy in Sanity that you could bank all of your earnings on. He was the man that was going to have the brightest future out of everybody there. The man is huge. The man could move. The man looks great. He's intimidating. He's a quintessential top big guy that WWE could utilize in that major heel-like role. That's the way I seen him. That's the way he was portrayed in NXT for sure. They utilized him to the best of his abilities in NXT, and when he made the main roster, nothing ever came of it. They ruined his look. They put this singlet on him. They took away every aspect of Killian Dane that was intimidating just by changing his outfit. That one little change was a killer for Killian Dane. I remember him being in the War Games match and how great he was in that War Games match. He was the MVP that year when Sanity was in War Games. He was all over the place. He was moving around like a fucking cruiserweight in that War Games match. And I looked at him and I kind of made the comparisons when I talked about Killian Dane months ago when he was in NXT. He reminded me of what Vader was. He could be the next big man. He could be the next Vader in WWE. That's how great he was. Vader was fucking agile for a man his size. 450 pounds, the guy's fucking doing moonsaults off the top rope. Killian Dane, you know, he wasn't doing moonsaults off the top rope, but man, the guy was fucking flying around. And it's very bizarre to see a 350-pound guy flying around, moving as great as Killian Dane. What did WWE do with him? Well, apparently, according to reports, they're moving him back down to NXT. We don't know if that is NXT Local or NXT UK to join Alexander Wolf. Dave Meltzer reports that Killian Dane is leaving the main roster altogether after the split of Sanity, and he will be returning to NXT. Alexander Wolf, as I mentioned, is in NXT UK. Killian Dane's real-life wife. I don't want to break your fucking hearts out there, but you virgins need to understand that you never had a chance to begin with. Nikki Cross and Killian Dane are a real-life couple. Nikki Cross not being used on the main roster as well. She's apparently with Monday Night Raw. You wouldn't know that. I didn't even know that. We haven't seen her. I don't know why she or Ruby Riott weren't announced for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, but who the fuck am I? I guess I don't know anything. I know for a fact that Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross would be a lot better than fucking Natalya and Dana Brooke. Anyway, these two individuals are not being used on the main roster. So, Dane is being moved back down to NXT. We don't know which version of NXT. I wish Nikki Cross would join him back down in NXT. Now, NXT tonight taped at Full Sail. I don't know if Killian Dane was a part of those tapings. I did not read the spoilers. I did not read the spoilers at all. I usually don't unless it's something major and I need to know what happened. But I don't think Killian Dane was on this particular set of tapings. So we'll see what happens when NXT UK tapes next. Maybe he shows up over there. For everybody wondering, you can stop worrying. Killian Dane is still with the WWE. He will be a part of NXT eventually. We just don't know which brand of NXT. Moving on here, man. We got news on a new NXT announcer. And no, it's not me. No, it's not me. And I feel by the end of the weekend, I will be making a huge burial it's going to be very impactful if I actually get the okay to do so on a certain commentator. Anyway. Beth Phoenix. She is replacing... You're probably wondering, what the fuck am I talking about, man? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it eventually, man. Give me a week or two. We'll talk about it. Beth Phoenix. She is now joining the NXT announce team. I enjoy Beth Phoenix. I think, especially when you're comparing the female commentators on WWE, man, she blows Renee Young out of the fucking water. She was much better than Lita. Remember Lita during the first Mae Young Classic with Jim Ross? Sounded like fucking death. Beth Phoenix knows what she's talking about. Beth Phoenix is very lively. She's very energetic. She's very forceful behind the microphone. She doesn't stutter. She makes good sense. So I'm okay with this move. And I know why WWE did it. Maybe they wanted to take Percy Watson out of that role because I do... Who's doing 205 Live now? Is it Percy Watson? Was he doing 205 Live? I know he was doing 205 Live for a little bit. Now they moved Aiden English over there. Maybe they're moving him back to 205 Live full-time. Maybe they're taking Aiden English out of that role. I don't know what's happening to Percy Watson, but I actually grew to like and stomach Percy Watson after I did not like him when I first heard him do commentary. I didn't like him at all. But now that I actually got comfortable with him, they're moving him out of that spot, and they're moving Beth Phoenix in there. She was actually announced during the tapings tonight at Full Sail, calling the action with Mauro Ranallo and Nigel McGuinness. She will be replacing Percy Watson, and she will be their full-time color commentator down at Full Sail for NXT. I think this is a good move. WWE clearly is wanting to get that female presence on the announce team, just like they got Renee Young on Monday Night Raw. That didn't work out all too well. She needs to be replaced immediately. I wish she'd go join her fucking husband wherever he goes. But I don't make those decisions. And it looks like we are stuck with Renee Young for the foreseeable future. But Beth Phoenix, on Wednesday night, we at least know that a female on the commentary team is going to be doing good. And her being on NXT, I think, is going to add a nice little different presence to the overall product. I want to talk about this injury. And this is the last story because I don't want to go into the spoilers because there was a lot that came out of the tapings tonight. We'll talk about that as the weeks go on. Now, there was a house show. And there was a match between Tyler Breeze and the Velveteen Dream. Now, I just want to throw it out there. The reason that Velveteen Dream and Tyler Breeze are going one-on-one on the house show circuit is because I'm sure WWE is lining something up for the actual NXT Live on Wednesday nights. I'm assuming, or at least I'm hoping. But during this match with Velveteen Dream and Tyler Breeze, there was a referee. Now, I've never seen this referee before. Maybe I have, and I just didn't realize it. His name is Tom Castor, and he was refereeing this match, and he broke his ankle during this match. I don't know how, but apparently he broke his ankle after taking a super kick by Tyler Breeze. Accidentally, he was standing in position to take the super kick, and something just horribly went wrong. His ankle completely snapped, and it wasn't as bad as Sid Vicious on WCW Nitro many years ago with him coming off the top rope and breaking his fucking leg in the middle of the ring. But man, this thing was bent and twisted. It looked like you needed a fucking exorcism to get this thing right again. It was fucking bad. It was bad. PW Insider confirmed that Tom Castor actually broke his ankle during that match with Velveteen Dream and Tyler Breeze. It was incredibly painful, and it illustrated definitely how much passion he has for what he's doing, that he actually finished the fucking match to count to 3 while he gave himself the X symbol, signifying that, hey, guys, I'm fucked up. I mean, you could look that he was fucked up. His ankle was twisted in the opposite direction. It was nasty. So Tom Castor finished the match, and they carted him out there on a stretcher. I don't know if he's got surgery yet. He had to. I believe he had surgery to fix this broken ankle. He is in the recuperation process, and man, If there is ever anyone in this company that has a lifelong position waiting for him, the fact that he did what he did, it's this guy right here, Tom Caster. So that was pretty crazy, and I wanted to go over that with you guys, and that was pretty much all the news I have for NXT outside of the tapings tonight from Full Sail University that we'll talk about in the coming weeks. The show tonight, it was really all about Kushida. It was all about Kushida. He was in the main event against Cassius Ono. We had a 6-man tag. We had Velveteen Dream and Dominik Dijakovic continue their little feud. And the Undisputed Era is showing cracks, even more so, in their armor. The night started off with Humberto Carrillo, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Jackson Ryker, Wesley Blake, and Steve Cutler, the Forgotten Sons. This one went to the Forgotten Sons. I'm assuming that they will be in line for a tag team title eventually, because the War Raiders are eventually going to have to either drop the titles or vacate the titles. I'm assuming we're going to find out what's going on with that as we get closer to TakeOver. But this match was crazy, man. Humberto Carrillo, the biggest spot in this match was Humberto Carrillo. I don't know if he came off the top rope or he springboarded in. But man, Jackson Ryker, I don't like the guy. I think he's fucking dull as a box of fucking crayons. This guy sucks. He's got absolutely no personality, no charisma. He stands there like a fucking oversized oaf. He doesn't do anything. He looks the part. He just doesn't do anything that excites me. Humberto Carrillo came off the top rope. And man, Jackson Ryker double axe handled him off the top rope that I swear to God, man, it looked like a fucking fatality in Mortal Kombat 11. The guy was done. Absolutely done after that. After that, it was pretty much over. Jackson Ryker took Humberto Carrillo, and I believe it was Danny Burch. He lined him up in a reverse, both of them at the same time, in reverse DDT positions. And both Cutler and Blake came off the top rope with double foot stomps. And that was it. And the Forgotten Sons get a victory here in a 6-man tag situation. Outside, we got Kathy Kelly and Shayna Baszler with the 3 horsewomen. You got Shayna Baszler, Marina Shafir, and Jessamine Duke. The 4th horsewoman, Ronda Rousey, is clearly not there. She's out recuperating from hand surgery. So, Kathy Kelly asked Shayna Baszler about sneak attacks on Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. Kelly then says, "Is this part of your strategy? Because Io Shirai has pinned the champion, but Baszler has not gotten a pin over Io." So, clearly, Shayna Baszler did not take to this disrespect, and she knocked the microphone out of Kathy Kelly's hand and didn't give Kathy Kelly the answer that she felt Kelly deserved. So there you go. Moving on here, we got a piece of footage from the Performance Center with Bianca Belair and Mia Yim. Now, I don't mind this. I really don't mind this. It's a nice little way to get a feud started because the PC is there. They're all training there. Everybody's in the same building. It's a nice way to get something going, but it does at the same time come off a little bit lame. And it felt a little weak. Mia Yim and Bianca Belair starts, I guess they were in the ring training, and then all of a sudden you start seeing them badmouth each other going back and forth. Belair tells Yim to keep her name out of Yim's mouth, and Bianca walks away. She didn't realize that she was being filmed. She starts yelling at the cameraman, and the match is booked for next week. So we got Bianca Belair versus Mia Yim in a women's division match. Again, rather lame, but I guess it gets the job done. We got first-degree murder in the form of Mansoor against Dominik Dijakovic. This was fucking a squash from the very sound of the bell, or at least I thought so. Mansoor actually got some offense in on Dijakovic. Now, Dijakovic's been doing this thing where he does this big spinning, big boot, and he takes people out within seconds. Mansoor obviously studied tapes because he ducked the big boot and he went right to his main move, the headlock. Mansoor, the master of the headlock, here in NXT. So, he got the headlock on Dijakovic. He went back and forth with Dijakovic for a little bit. And that was it. Dijakovic got his hands on him, started beating him down. Then Dijakovic picks up this guy, this poor fucking soul. He picks him up and launches this guy. I swear to God, if you thought that this guy was dead after the match, I went back and watched this one spot. How he did not tear a ligament in his knee after Dijakovic launched this guy over the top rope is absolutely amazing. I thought he was dead after the fucking match with that clothesline that folded him over like a fucking burrito. This guy got launched over the top rope. His knees got fucked up on the concrete down below. And I swear to God, man, if he's not hurt, he's very lucky. He was dead from the word go after that big spot over the top rope. So, at the end of this thing, Mansoor tries to come back with some kicks. There was a nice little move there where Dijakovic was on one knee. Mansoor stood up on Dijakovic's knee, lifted himself up into the air, and did a step-up enziguri off of Dijakovic's knee. Wasn't enough. Eventually, he did feast your eyes on Mansoor, and he did his finishing move, that fireman's carry, that burning hammer position into the face buster. Done. Over with. 1, 2, 3, folded him over like a fucking burrito, and that was it. Dominik Dijakovic wins via pinfall. That wasn't even the most entertaining part. Dijakovic was about to leave the ring, and the NXT North American Champion, Velveteen Dream, comes on out. He's on his Velveteen couch, two beautiful women pushing him out there to the stage. And he starts calling Dijakovic by his first name, Dominik. And I didn't take the notes on what Dream was singing, but I do have the actual song queued up for you guys here. This is the Velveteen Dream confronting Dijakovic after his match and win over Mansoor. Now, Velveteen Dream's singing voice is very brutal. It's cringe. But man, this is the type of wrestling funny. This is the type of wrestling comedy that I like. It's not cheesy. It gets the job done. It fits Velveteen Dream's character. And it's not toilet humor like Vince McMahon does on Monday Night Raw. This is the Velveteen Dream singing to Dominik Dijakovic.
Dominik, Velveteen heard that you had some words for the Dream. So the Dream has some words for you, Dominik. Words so true you can say that they're red, white, and blue. Now, if we're gonna do this right, we need some music. Hit it! Oh, say, can you see my dream's brilliant light while you stand there in awe at the dream's epic gleaming while sealing the show. Just like widows flip-flops under my massive elbow. Buddy Murphy's red hair, I kicked his derriere. So please be sure stare, 'cause your family won't care.
Dijakovic is just standing there.
Oh, why, yes, 'cause I'm the Dream, and this is the Dream's NXT.
So he goes back to laying on the couch and he looks up at the two girls. Did you like it? Was it good? Was it good? They both said yes. He puts his hat on, and then he's carted off. I love it, man. Velveteen Dream, there's so much money in him. I want to sit here and look you in the eye and say there's no fucking way that they could fuck him up. But stranger things have happened in this company. I think this was great. This made me smile. It made me laugh. And I'm actually looking forward to a match with Dream and Dijakovic. It would be a big test for Dream. He obviously had the test against Riddle. And it's going to be the same result. There's no reason why the Velveteen Dream should lose that title. It'll be a nice showcase for Dijakovic, whether it happens on NXT at Full Sail or it happens at TakeOver. I would much rather like to see the finale or the conclusion of Keith Lee and Dijakovic at TakeOver, but we'll see what happens. Apparently, Dominic Dijakovic is going to be in the plans for NXT. They're building him up slowly but surely. They're trying to put him out there, and hopefully something sticks with the fans. Right now, he is still he's not green, but he's not there yet. He's pretty much just something that you just put in the oven, and you turn the oven up to 425. It's going to be a little bit. So we'll see what happens between these two. I'm actually very excited to see what they can both do in the ring together for the North American Championship. Next week, we got Matt Riddle. Speaking of Matt Riddle, he's going one-on-one with Adam Cole. So that should be a classic down at Full Sail. Johnny Gargano and Roderick Strong. Obviously, that was last week. Backstage, Undisputed Era cut their promo with their music playing. They were, I guess they were in the loading dock. You know, typical Undisputed Era promo. All four of them were standing about. Undisputed Era talked about how lucky Gargano was and is wondering when his luck will run out. They turn their attention to next week when Cole faces Matt Riddle. Cole says that they are focused on the future, not the past. They don't look strong dropping the ball, or they don't like Strong dropping the ball. So Strong obviously took, exception to this. He took offense to this, and he was like, "Really, really, you had to go there. What really was the reason for that?" And he walked off. Roderick Strong completely walked away from Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole. So Cole says, "What? It was nothing more than a joke. He can't take a joke just like he can't take a loss." So Bobby Fish said, "Dude, your timing, I understand it was a joke, but your timing, it was completely off, and it wasn't great. Now let me go get him and see if he's all right." Kyle O'Reilly stayed there with Adam Cole and said, don't worry, everything is going to be all right. And Adam Cole just didn't understand why Roderick Strong couldn't take a joke. So they are clearly teasing something with the Undisputed Era as far as a breakup goes. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. I don't think it's going to lead to a breakup. I think that would be terrible for all four of them. Adam Cole will obviously find success. And I feel like if they are going to get a call-up in the distant future, I don't want them being called up by themselves. I think that is going to be absolutely the death of Undisputed Era, or anybody in Undisputed Era if they're called up individually. They are most powerful as a unit. Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong will not survive on the main roster if they're split up from Adam Cole. They either come up as a four-piece or they don't come up at all. This little tease here on NXT is something for the interim. It's something to get them by week to week to week until the Undisputed Era is fully entrenched in something that is meaningful. Whether it's O'Reilly and Fish going after the tag team championships again, because if the War Raiders either vacate those titles or lose those titles, Fish and O'Reilly are going to be right there in the thick of things for the tag team championships. Roderick Strong could easily go after the North American Championship, and you already know Adam Cole's got his eyes on the World Heavyweight Championship and Johnny Gargano. So the fact that they already mentioned before the turn of the year in 2019 that Undisputed Era is going to hold all the gold in NXT, don't really take this to be anything too serious. They said that, and I think that is where they're going to end up at the end of the year. You're going to see Undisputed Era with every single title in NXT by the end of the year. Cassius Ono versus Kushida. Man, I love his entrance. Man, I love his theme music. He looked fucking great and he looked like a superstar. He was a superstar coming into WWE. That's why they signed him. But man, when Triple H gets his fucking fingers in you, when he gets his claws in you, it's just great. And I love what they did with Kushida's entrance. It really, really felt major. It felt big. And I was already envisioning his takeover entrance, because you know it's coming. So I can't wait to see what they do with that. This was a great first opponent for Kushida. Cassius Ono is a great utility guy. He is definitely one of those NXT lifers, which, you know, he's going to remain at NXT. He's not going to get called up to the main roster in any way, shape, or form. And after he's done at NXT, he's going to go right down to the PC. He's going to be a coach down at Full Sail University and the Performance Center. It's going to be great. So this was a great first match for Kushida. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not know much of Kushida before he came over from New Japan. I knew of him, and I seen him wrestle clearly before he made his debut in NXT. I just wasn't a New Japan guy who was fully ingrained in this guy's career. I don't need to be. I don't need to be. Because no matter how great Kushida was tonight, and no matter how great Kushida is going to be on the main roster, I am worried about not only the people that they got there already in NXT, like a Dream, or a Matt Riddle, or an Adam Cole, or a Johnny Gargano, or a Tommaso Ciampa. I'm already worried about those guys when they make the main roster. But now you're looking at Kushida. And Kushida's going to be there for a little bit. But really, what is the success rate of a guy like Kushida, who comes into the WWE from a New Japan or a Ring of Honor or anywhere? What is the success rate? And I mean this wholeheartedly. What is the success rate of a man or female that is Japanese or of a non-English speaking descent when they come on into the WWE? What is their success rate when or if they make the main roster? Now, I was talking to my buddy Jesse tonight. He made a good point. You look back at the history of WWE, who has been the most successful Japanese superstar to step foot in the WWE? He mentioned two men. He mentioned the Japanese buzzsaw, Tajiri, and I could see that. And he also mentioned Taka Michinoku, who was the WWE light heavyweight champion during the Attitude Era. Now, if I had to choose one, I would probably say Tajiri. I think Tajiri was much more successful than Taka Michinoku. Tajiri's a legend. And look at who WWE has had in their possession the last 2 years, 3 years. Nakamura, Asuka, and Hideo Itami. And I'm going to include Akira Tozawa in that as well. What is the success rate of those four? How many of them went on to be major stars like they should have been on the main roster? The answer is zero. The answer is zero. Now, clearly, we all know Kushida is one talented motherfucker. We all know the guy can wrestle. We all know the guy came in with a ton of hype, a ton of fanfare. If William Regal and Triple H wanted this guy for years in NXT, clearly they see the talent in Kushida. But that's not what really matters at the end of the day. Kushida may be great in NXT. Nakamura was fucking phenomenal in NXT. Asuka was undefeated in NXT. Hideo Itami was on his way to being NXT champion before the injury bug said, fuck you. And Akira Tozawa was great in the Cruiserweight Classic. He was on his way to being something special in WWE. And then the main roster got a hold of him, and it was nothing more than a comedy act. And he went nowhere on the main roster with 205 Live. A couple of title matches here, but he didn't really do anything. So what is the success rate of Japanese-born talent that comes into the WWE? Zero. So why am I going to get excited about Kushida like I want to when all I have to do is look at Nakamura? Nakamura came in with as much charisma as anyone in the WWE. The man bleeds charisma. The man has charisma that you cannot teach anybody. On top of that, he's a world-class athlete, trained in MMA. He was a legend coming over from New Japan. The guy could be taken out of WWE and put back over in New Japan, and he would not have missed a fucking beat. They'd still build the entire promotion around Shinsuke Nakamura. That's how valuable he is to them. He came in, he had the theme music, he had the fucking ambiance, he had the look. He was a fucking rock star. So if Shinsuke Nakamura failed at WWE, why am I going to get excited about Kushida? Nakamura had all those things that are very difficult to obtain when coming to the WWE. He got the cool theme music, he had the great entrance, he had fucking charisma, more so than anyone else on that roster. All he spoke to you in his mannerisms and his body language. He didn't need to say a fucking word. And they didn't do anything with this guy. Still to this day, I look back at his feud with Jinder Mahal and I cringe at the thought of him being pinned by Jinder Mahal. WWE brought up Asuka. Asuka didn't even lose the NXT Women's Championship. She vacated the fucking thing. She went to the main roster, and what did they do with her? She had a great couple of months. She was still undefeated until she met Roman Flair, Charlotte Reigns at WrestleMania. After that, WWE, downward spiral. There was a little increase in momentum, but ultimately it still always trends downward for Asuka. And now she's in the middle of a fucking tag team that isn't even a legit tag team for the sake of getting teams together in their dead women's division. And the only reason why she's paired with Kairi Sane is because they're both Japanese. Speaking of which, you can add Kairi and Io to this list of Japanese talent that will go nowhere in WWE because they're Japanese. Why am I going to get excited about Kushida, who could clearly fucking out-wrestle anyone in WWE? Why am I going to get excited about him knowing that people like Kushida always fail on the main roster? Unless he stays in NXT, I have no hope for WWE. Vince is going to look at him and he's going to think that's Akira Tozawa's cousin. He's going to go right to 205 Live. And if he's on Monday Night Raw SmackDown Live, Vince ain't going to know what to do with him. We still have yet to see Buddy Murphy on SmackDown Live. I'm counting the weeks. We're 3 weeks from the shakeup now. Buddy Murphy has yet to be on SmackDown Live coming over from 205 Live. WWE does not care. They don't care. This guy is dead on arrival. He is DOA. Unless he stays in NXT for the duration of his career, this guy's WWE career hits a ceiling after NXT. Dead. So there's no reason for me to get excited about Kushida. If you failed with Nakamura and Asuka, Kushida stands no chance. Kairi Sane's gonna follow the same fucking blueprint as Asuka. She ain't going nowhere. You think WWE finds value in Kairi Sane? She's just a name and a fucking gimmick just to fill a roster space. She's there. Kairi doesn't have a big ass. Kairi doesn't have big tits. Kairi isn't blonde. She's Japanese. She doesn't speak English. She's colorful. She's bizarre. She's weird. She dresses like a fucking pirate. WWE finds no value in that. If you don't look like Alexa Bliss, you ain't going anywhere. And this is the reason why Asuka is suffering on the main roster. Asuka doesn't have the appeal of an Alexa Bliss to WWE management. She doesn't speak English all that well. She's not American. Here you go. You hit a ceiling. This is the most you will do. They tried, and WWE never lives up to it. They try, and they never go along with it. 1 or 2 weeks, WWE gave Asuka the title. She was given the title based out of pity because we asked for it. They didn't know what to do with it. And then they put it on Charlotte. And now the title is pretty much dead on Becky Lynch. Ready to go right back to Charlotte. It's a vicious fucking cycle in WWE. It's even worse if you're Japanese. This match itself was fun. The crowd loved it. Crowd was into it. Crowd was chanting Kushida. He's obviously got that aspect of everything down. people know who he is. He's already come in with one of the biggest hurdles out of the way. When you make a debut, nobody knows who you are. This guy came in, everyone in NXT already knew who he was. And being that they already knew who he was, people are going to go out there and seek who this guy is, and he's going to get even more popular as the weeks and months go on. He's already got the toughest part out of the way. He's got the intro, he's got the music, he's got the look, he's got the crowd in the palm of his hands. He's got that already. So why on earth would this guy fail in WWE? Cassius Ono was really giving this guy stiff shots tonight. Some kicks to the back of the neck. There was one point where Cassius Ono leveled him with a big fucking boot right to the face. Thought he broke his fucking nose. Kushida went for a crucifix pin. Only got a 2 count. Ono drops down to one knee and starts yelling, "You're good. You're good." Offers up his left hand, I guess, for a handshake. Kushida shakes it and immediately gets kicked in the head. Kushida returns fire with some kicks. Springboard tomahawk chop. Low drop kick to his arm. Tries for a buzzsaw kick. Ono with an electric chair position. Sit out facebuster. Looked fucking devastating. 2 count only. Kushida landed hard, and he did come up with an actual bloody nose. So those kicks really did their job. I don't know if it was off the kick, off the handshake, or it was the facebuster from the electric chair position. But either way, Kushida looked like he was slightly bloodied coming from the nose. Flatliner on Ono into the second turnbuckle. I gotta get the hell out of here, man. I'm exhausted. Flatliner on Ono into the second turnbuckle and a rough-looking springboard Hurricane Rana. Couldn't get it all the way because of the sheer girth of Cassius Ono. Now, Kushida went for a couple of kicks, mocking Ono. He went for a handshake. Kushida looked for a big move, gets locked in by an elbow. Cassius Ono went for a cover, only a 2 count pump kick to the face by Ono. Kushida hit that wind-up punch, dropped Ono, penalty kick to the arm, and a hoverboard lock forces Ono to tap out. And Kushida wins his WWE NXT debut. And that was it. Now we got a brand new set of tapings. We are building towards TakeOver, which is happening, I believe, in June. Some people were saying that TakeOver was canceled. I don't think it was. It might be moved, but I don't think it's going to be canceled. Because WWE really fucked up the schedule with the fact that Money in the Bank is a major pay-per-view, and major pay-per-views are usually accompanied by an NXT TakeOver. Being that they moved Money in the Bank to May, they are not going to accompany a TakeOver show with the Saudi show in June because the travel for that is damn near impossible. You're not going to be at the Saudi show and then fly to San Jose the next day for a TakeOver show. So I'm assuming that WWE either moves it to another weekend where there's nothing, or they bundle it with the Stomping Ground weekend, and that happens on Saturday, and then we get Stomping Ground on Sunday at the end of June. We will see, but all I know is that TakeOver more than likely will have to be moved from its original date. I will keep you guys updated on that. But the next set of tapings is going to run through the entire month of May, and we are going to get TakeOver build and TakeOver matches being announced. Gargano and the future of the NXT Championship, who he's going to defend the title against next. The War Raiders, they either drop the titles or they lose the titles to another tag team in WWE. That's going to be interesting to see. And I want to see who the Velveteen Dream puts up the North American Championship against. It could be Dijakovic. It could be that they're saving that match for TakeOver, or the feud that has been rumored, because it's been teased about on social media. They've been working house shows together down in South Florida. Could be Tyler Breeze versus Velveteen Dream in a TakeOver fantasy match, and that'll be for the North American Championship. It's going to be very interesting to see where they go, man. One last thing I want to mention here is that I love NXT, and it definitely feels, you know, that WrestleMania show was the flag bearer. It was the standard bearer for NXT. I understand that they can't all be like that all the time, but I feel right now, I honestly feel with Tommaso Ciampa being out, something is missing. I don't know if it's a direct effect of him being out and him being missing, but man, I miss Ciampa, and I feel like with him out And I'm sure Aleister Black and Ricochet not being there also hurt the show. The War Raiders not going to be there are going to hurt the show. You know, Aleister Black and Ricochet not being there definitely hurt the show. But I feel like without Tommaso Ciampa there, it just doesn't feel the same. And I don't really understand why everybody had to be pulled at the same time. I just don't get it. I don't understand why everybody had to be pulled at the same fucking time. And it's just not anybody. It was the upper echelon of elite guys that Triple H put all of his money into down in NXT. The top guys. Black, Ricochet, Ciampa, War Raiders. Those were Triple H guys. They were the top of NXT. And they got pulled for absolutely no reason. There's no direction for any one of them. And WWE pulled up all those other NXT talents in January and haven't even done anything with any of them. Outside of Lacey Evans and Lars Sullivan. EC3, dead. Nikki Cross, might as well be unemployed. Heavy Machinery, I don't think they've wrestled since the fucking shakeup. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But here I am complaining about it. It's not going to really do anything. It's just something that I feel. I feel like coming out of NXT TakeOver New York and going into these shows in this particular set of tapings that they were just there. NXT was just there. It was an hour of weekly television that didn't really do anything to excite us. It was entertaining. It's still better than what we got on Monday and Tuesday, but coming out of TakeOver New York, you really are feeling the hit of Vince McMahon calling up everybody that he called up to the main roster. Hopefully they could battle back, and hopefully we get a great TakeOver build going into San Jose. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up. If you enjoyed what you heard here today, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to go check out all the other videos that you missed this week, please go do so. Off the Script this past weekend. Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live. Off the Script extra talking about Dean Ambrose saying goodbye and Jon Moxley breaking the fucking internet. That was on Tuesday at midnight, or Wednesday morning at midnight. Soon as the clock struck midnight, Ambrose's contract with WWE was over, and Jon Moxley was reborn. I talk about that. Bill Goldberg signing a possible Legends deal with WWE. He was announced for Saudi Arabia. And Brock Lesnar retiring from MMA and could potentially retire from the WWE at WrestleMania 36. So go check all that stuff out, and I will see you right back here on Friday for Off the Script. We got a lot to go over on Friday, so look forward to that, man. Again, hit that thumbs up, and I will see you right back here for the weekend's podcast on Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.